Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. Unboxing time again. This one is 1944 D-Day to the Rhine from Worthington. This is a game designed by Dan Forney. And so I went from having hardly, well, I won't say hardly, from having really no games on D-Day to having now I think 4. Let's see if I can name all 4. This is one, so 1944 D-Day to the Rhine, but I also have Decisions, the D-Day Quad, and I have the Dark Summer, and I have Normandy 44, and I have yet to play any of those, so we've got to do a D-Day playthrough on the channel here at some point. But I just got this one. It's from Worthington, and it looked very interesting to me. Looks like it is we can look down here and see it's 1 to 2 players, low complexity, and of course it says solitaire suitability low, but we're going to laugh that off. We know that's a silly rating anyway. And the components: map board, 2 counter sheets, dice, rulebook, battle objective cards, and battle archive. That sounds interesting. So we're going to dive into this game from Worthington to see what we get in here. And I don't think there's any blocks that need to be stickered in this one, which would be very, very nice. Now, what in the world are we looking at here? This is a notepad, and I just did an unboxing not too long ago of, maybe it was Triumph and Tragedy, where they had a note card like this, and I talked about how it looked like Space Empire. So we're starting to see this sort of thing creep back into war games, I guess. Just looking, but this looks like it is a score sheet almost. So the game played, whether you played a full game or a short scenario, and then who won. That is very unique. I have not seen that in the game before. And then here we have some scenario cards that look like scenario postcards, and there's not a lot of information on those. Allied, variable, objective, and so it's a neat looking card because you can see the artwork over here, but not a lot on these cards at all. So again, both the first 2 items in the box were a little odd to me. They kind of stand out, but we are not going to judge those cards. I'm just going to show them to you, and we'll see what purpose they serve. Maybe it's a greater purpose than what I'm thinking. Looking at this is and I'm hesitating because I'm seeing it's like a mirror image over here. This looks like the rule book, and if it is, it's glossy paper, a nice color, and I'm only seeing 12 pages. There's the terrain effects chart on the back, and I'm looking over here because this looks identical to me. Yeah, so this, and I'm hoping that I didn't get shorted a scenario book. So I'm kind of at a loss as to why I would have 2 rule books. Again, I do these unboxings without having looked in them before I record, so you're seeing this live with me. 2 rule books. Nice rule book, but I'm hoping I'm not missing a playbook, a scenario book. So let's keep digging in and see. I mean, I know that sometimes, well, I don't know. I was going to say sometimes maybe you get a game where you're given 2 rule books so that your opponent will have a rule book at the same time you do, but I haven't seen a lot of that. This looks like a turn track card for the Germans, and I'm just looking on the back here. Some setup information perhaps. Has the same thing for the Allies. Landing zones, those kinds of things. Nice player aid cards. These are nice, thick, colorful player's aid cards. And now we're getting down to counters, and these are beautiful counters. They fall right out. So I'm going to show you the one that fell out. No need to round those at all. I'm going to pop it back in if I can. These will fall right out. So there's your counters. And I see all kinds of things, infantry and armor. There's some game markers there. And the backs of those are equally nice. I'm trying to be very careful because they are falling out. This is the second one. And these counters are thick and almost like a black core. It's not the white core that we're used to seeing sometimes, or even the gray core, the cardboard. This looks kind of like blackish. Well, that side looks more like cardboard, if you can see that. Nice thick counters though. These are really nice counters. And again, not a lot of them, and they just punch right out. No clipping necessary. So now we're getting down to the, well, let's pull this out because this looks really nice. This looks like a counter tray for all those counters we just saw. And inside the counter tray, well, let's set this aside too. We see special dice, and these dice, I'm going to open one of these. Looks like you get one for the Germans and one for the Allies. These are not engraved, they are painted on. You can see that, but they should hold up nice with the felt line die tray that I have. Dice tower, and there's the, I won't open it, but there's the Allied side. You can see the special markings, aircraft and maybe armor and infantry on the back of that. So that is interesting. And then there's the counter tray that is appreciated. I like to see that, so I don't have to worry about wasting one of my Aegis counter trays or GMT counter trays or any other kind of counter tray. Now let's take a look at the map here. This looks like a full-size standard map. It is mounted, which again, I do like to see. Laying flat, so don't have to worry about it pooching, because a lot of times these things will pooch out. That's not an issue. In fact, right now I have underneath this table, you can't see it because there's a tabletop on it, but underneath here, the map board, the mounted map board for GMT's US Civil War is laid out, and I've got a piece of heavy plexi over it that is kind of pushing it down, and usually just a day is enough to get it to lay flat. And once it's flat, it doesn't pooch out. So, but this one lays flat, so this is nice. Right out of the box, laying flat. Nice looking map, like what I see. And that is it. A very quick unboxing of 1944 D-Day to the Rhine. And this might be the first D-Day game I get to the table. I don't know. Like I said, there's 4 to choose from. And if you have any thoughts on any of those 4, you let me know down below. So there you go. Just a quick unboxing of 1944 D-Day to the Rhine. And look for the playthrough coming up soon. Subscribe to get notified that that's on the way. Please like the video if you like what I do. And as always, thank you for watching.